All right, welcome. This is my slides on the career in software engineering by Cameron Bell. I chose software engineering as my discipline, or as my job. Educational requirements. Going into software engineering, a lot of people like to assume that you need a higher education in order to get into it. And while that is sometimes true, for most entry-level software engineering jobs, you need nothing more than a bachelor's degree in software engineering, which can be made pretty easily. There's also a lot of certifications you can get, like your CIW Web Development Professional certification, which is, of course, for web development, which is what a lot of software engineers end up going into because the internet is always expanding. So they're always looking for new web developers for whatever they need to get made. So that's always a big field that a lot of people get started into. Required skills. These are skills that you need in order to actually get into the job. These are not skills that you count. We're not counting onto this list like skills that you would get while working there. These are ones that you need just to get into the job, whatever job you're looking for. A lot of key skills as a software engineer primarily include coding. The most common languages are Java, JavaScript, and Python. But you also need, they also recommend a lot of knowledge in NoSQL, which is a very important database tool that a lot of companies use because when you're working in large companies and even slightly smaller companies, you still need a database and need someone to be able to manage it and understand how to use it. Like I said, they're usually preferred by employers. Some jobs may not require certain ones, while other jobs might. And like I said, you can always be learning a lot of new skills while you're working there. These are just your bare minimum requirements to get into the job. Expected salary, that's a big thing, is with software engineering, it's a big flashy name and you're going to expect to be making a lot of money. And while that is sometimes true, your lowest end you can be making $65,000 a year, but that even at a starting wage or starting salary, that is still very, very acceptable and a very livable wage or livable salary. But also it can also swing on the other end and you can get up to 105 through 10 to 20 years you can get like $105,000. Some people make 150. I've even seen people make 200,000. It just depends on where you are on that spectrum because there's always going to be outliers. There's always going to be people making more money. There's always people going to be making less money. So you just have to feel out where your job sits. Job duties and type of work. Software engineers create and edit software. That's the whole point, is they are engineering the software similar to how a mechanical engineer would build a car. This usually entails debugging and testing on different operating systems and hardware to make sure that they're functioning and that the software is actually going to work on those because it always behaves differently on different hardware. And doing penetration tests for security systems because that usually is testing the security system to make sure that it's not vulnerable to attacks and whatnot because of course that wouldn't be very good. So those are just kind of the jobs that a lot of software engineers do, but if, like I said, it's a spectrum and there's so much more that can be done and usually is done. So final opinions. I personally feel that software engineering is an absolutely worthwhile field to get into. It has a lot of space to move and a lot of places for someone to go getting into the field. And if they stick with it, they can definitely move up on that ladder and make lots and lots more money. However, personally, I don't want to go into software engineering. I'm more mechanical, so I'd want to do that's why I would do robotics and whatnot because that's something that I find more interesting. So software engineering, yes, that would be a big part of what I plan on doing, but that's not exactly the career that I plan on going into. But thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this little presentation. I tried my best on it, and you have a lovely day or night or whenever you're grading this. Thank you.